the bench after looking like she is in some pain.
You see the look on her face. That isn't just pain. That's frustration. That's the look of a player whose body is betraying her at the height of her power. On the night of July 15, 2025, the sports world was told two different stories about Caitlin Clark. The first was a triumphant tale of a superstar shattering 3 WNBA records in a single game. The second was a tragedy, a devastating non-contact injury in the final minute, ending her night in tears and putting her all-star appearance in jeopardy. But what the mainstream media is failing to connect is that these aren't two separate stories. They are one. The hidden truth, the story we are going to unpack today, is that the records are not happening in spite of the pain. The records are happening because of it. This is the story of how a season full of injuries is forcing Caitlin Clark to evolve, right before our eyes, into a completely different kind of legend. We are connecting all the dots to expose what's really happening behind the headlines. If you believe there's a deeper story the numbers aren't telling you, smash the like button to show us we're on the right track. Now, let's filter out the noise and start with the official narrative everyone saw. The Indiana Fever walk into TD Garden in Boston for a grudge match against the Connecticut Sun. This is the same team that was at the center of the infamous eye poke game just a month earlier. The arena is a sellout, packed with 19,156 fans, but the Boston crowd quickly sounds more like a home game for the visiting Fever. What unfolds is a masterclass in team basketball. The Fever get their revenge, winning the game 85-77, and they did it with beautiful, selfless offense, tallying an incredible 22 assists on just 29 made baskets. On paper, Clark's individual performance looked like a paradox. She had a rough night shooting the ball, going just 4 of 14 from the field. But while her shot was cold, her impact was historic. She became the fastest player in league history to reach 450 career assists and 150 career three-pointers, and she extended her mind-boggling streak of games with 5 or more assists to 40, the longest in WNBA history. This is the heroic story the box score tells you, but it's also where the story stops for most people. For us, the narrative analysts, this is where it truly begins. Okay, so let's start connecting the dots. That painful moment on the bench wasn't an isolated incident, and it wasn't random. For those of us who have been watching closely, it felt almost inevitable. This single injury is part of a deeply concerning pattern that has defined Caitlin Clark's entire 2025 season. Let's look at the evidence. After never missing a single game in her college career or her historic rookie season, Clark has been sidelined for 10 games this year alone due to various ailments, including quad strains and recurring groin issues. This isn't just bad luck, it's a trend. And now we have to get into some of the chatter we've been seeing, because many of you have been pointing this out online. There is widespread social speculation from fans and analysts that Clark is being rushed back to the court before she is fully healed, making her more susceptible to the very kind of non-contact injury we saw against the Sun. So the question becomes, why is a player who was once an Iron Woman suddenly dealing with so much physical breakdown? To understand the what, the recurring injuries, we have to rewind and understand the why. And the why takes us back 1 month to the game on June 17, 2025. This was the flashpoint. In the third quarter of that game against the Sun, Jacy Sheldon poked Clark directly in the eye while defending her, earning a flagrant 1 foul. As tempers flared, Marina Mabrey intervened, shoving Clark to the ground while Mabrey was not ejected.
Clark trying to back her down.
Clark is okay.
Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabrey comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
This game established a clear narrative. Opponents realized they could get away with an extreme level of physicality against Clark, and her own coach, Stephanie White, confirmed it. She didn't hold back in the post-game press conference, and this is a critical piece of the puzzle. She said, quote, "I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing. When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, that's the key. It's been happening all season long." Coach White laid it out for everyone. This wasn't just a rivalry game getting chippy. It was the result of a season of unchecked aggression, and it marked the moment the league unofficially put a target on its biggest star's back. The physical toll from that game and others like it is the direct source of the wear and tear we're seeing now. This brings us to the promise of our title: how Coach Stephanie White exposes this hidden truth. She isn't doing it with a dramatic tell-all interview. No, she's too smart for that. She's a veteran coach who understands the politics of the league. She exposes the truth by what she doesn't say, and more importantly, by the evidence she puts on the court every single night. After the July 15th game, when asked about the injury, her response was clipped, guarded. Quote, "No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there." Now, on the surface, that sounds like a standard coach's non-answer. But when you place it in the context of her previous statements about the lack of protection from officials, you see the real picture. It's the weary, protective response of a coach who knows her superstar is being systematically worn down, and she's trying to shield her from the media storm that follows every single incident. The real revelation isn't in a quote, it's in the strategic adjustment she has made to Clark's role on the team. What do you think? Is this all part of a deliberate strategy from Coach White to protect her star player, or is it just a natural evolution? Let us know your theory in the comments below. This leads us to the core of our analysis: the forced evolution of Caitlin Clark. The constant physical punishment, the nagging injuries, the ever-present risk of re-injury, it all means she can no longer play with the same reckless abandon. She can't rely on exploding to the rim 15 times a game or taking the physical pounding that comes with being the primary scorer. So, she adapted. She was forced to become something else. She became the injured general. Instead of being the tip of the spear, she now orchestrates the battle from the command tent. She's controlling the pace, reading the entire floor, and using her once-in-a-generation basketball IQ to elevate everyone around her. And the numbers prove it. This isn't a scoring slump. It's a seismic shift in style. She's leading the entire WNBA with 8.8 assists per game. That historic 40-game streak of 5 or more assists isn't just a fun statistic. It's hard data tracking her transformation into a pass-first superstar. She is playing smarter, not harder, because her body is forcing her to. But the most compelling proof of this new system isn't just in Clark's own numbers. It's in what her new role has unlocked for the rest of her team. In that crucial July 15th game, she stepped up with 20 points. She is the team's leading scorer for the 2025 season, averaging 19.3 points per game. And the Fever just re-signed her to a one-year Supermax deal. She is the perfect beneficiary of Clark's new role, a lethal scorer who can finish the high-quality looks Clark creates for her. Look at Natasha Howard, who dominated the Sun with 18 points and 13 rebounds. And then there's Aliyah Boston, a 3-time consecutive All-Star who is currently leading the entire WNBA in field goal percentage at a staggering 61.7%. That historic efficiency doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens when your point guard is a genius who is constantly setting you up with perfect passes for easy baskets. That incredible team stat from the Sun game, 22 assists on 29 made field goals wasn't a fluke. It was the blueprint. It is the signature of an offense that now flows entirely through the vision of its injured leader. But here is the central conflict. This brilliant adaptation, while it may be keeping the Fever competitive, is creating a nightmare scenario for the entire Women's National Basketball Association. The Caitlin Clark effect has been a tidal wave for the league, driving up attendance, merchandise sales, and most importantly, viewership. In 2024, her games averaged more viewers than those featuring NBA stars like Victor Wembanyama. Now we have to look at a number that should terrify the league's front office. During Clark's previous injury absences, WNBA viewership dropped a catastrophic 53%, falling from 1.81 million to just 847,000 viewers. And now, with her confirmed withdrawal from the All-Star Game and three-point contest in Indianapolis, the league's biggest weekend has lost its main attraction. Okay, now we're getting into rumor territory, but it's what analysts across the sport are saying. There is a very real concern that Clark's mounting injury issues could severely impact the league's powerful growth momentum. Her health is no longer just about the Indiana Fever's playoff chances. It is directly tied to the financial health and future of the entire WNBA. And so we come back to that image. Caitlin Clark on the bench, head in her hands, fighting back tears. That emotion isn't just about a tweaked groin. It's the culmination of a season's worth of frustration. It's the raw emotion of the ultimate competitor realizing her own body has become her biggest opponent, the one thing that can stop her from dominating. But this is the final, incredible irony of her story so far. The physical punishment that is causing her so much pain is the very same catalyst that is forcing her to become a different, more complete kind of legend. The constant threat has forced an evolution. It has unlocked a side of her genius focused not on her own shot, but on the 10 other players on the court. The pain is forging a playmaker, and it's happening right in front of us. So, what's your take on all this? Is this forced evolution into a pass-first injured general the key to her long-term survival and success in the WNBA? Or is it a tragic sign that the league is failing to protect its most valuable asset from being broken down? Let us know your definitive take in the comments section below. We are going to be tracking every angle of this story as the season unfolds, connecting the dots that others miss. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. And finally, if you think this is the real story behind the headlines, share this video with another fan. Help us get this analysis out to everyone who wants to understand the game beyond the box score.